Hey, good morning, peace and blessings. Today I want to talk about a few things, specifically, testing spirits. Um, we live in a day and age, since 2020, the devil's, authority, stronghold, agenda, has gotten stronger. People have become, demonic vessels. Either they're under demonic strongholds or they're in full demon possession. Which means they're fully demon possessed, or that means they're, given to demonic, points of views, understanding of life. You know, it goes in, correlation, with narcissism. Narcissism is, having demonic spirits. And you have to test people's spirits, as chosen, as lovers of God, Yahweh. You have to test the spirit. There's a lot of spirits people are under, whether they're fully demon possessed or under strongholds. The Jezebel spirit can be in men and women. It's a very narcissistic, emotionally draining, controlling, spirit. People who usually trying to control your life, jealous, envious. It's very prevalent in women. The women nowadays at this age, they seek to control men. They don't follow the biblical order. They're very masculine. They live horrorous lives, for lack of better words. They've been oppressed for a while, so you can kind of give them a pass, but, and that's just my personal opinion, but, God, Yahweh, says different. There is no pass. You either follow the biblical order or you cause yourself to be and cause yourself to have, a soul that's going to damnation. It's no gray area. It's business with God and the devil. It's business of souls. They're not playing. We shouldn't be. The Jezebel spirit, highly prevalent in women. From my personal, analytics, I'll say, definitely in the African American women culture, all they care about is, pulling themselves out, partying, drinking, smoking, controlling men, excuse me, seeking to, dominate weak, effeminate, bisexual, down low, males, for clout, for attention, which is the Jezebel spirit. And you have the Ahab, which is the males, who allow women to, run free. They're most likely, bisexual or they're most likely, homosexual. So they have something. Women have something over them. Basically, the devil and women have something over them, so they can hang their head over it. So women can control them. It's just a fact. So they will do anything, for low vibrational, low value, women of this society. The women of this society, in America are very low value. No rich, billionaire, whatever you even look at them, it's just reality. But, the American society has taught women, to become low value. The women of past were high value, they took care of the household, they were loyal, they were, high value women, they followed, the biblical order, me personally, this is just a personal, opinion, I specifically, I'm sexually attracted to, white females and, Latina females. And, that's not a very popular opinion, in the black community of women, and they seek to, discredit you, control you, convince you, that you're wrong for, having a sexual attraction, that you were born with. It's something I personally dealt with, in relationships. And, figuring out, becoming an adult, basically, and, understanding, sexual attraction, is important in a relationship, and first and foremost, God, but, you have to be you have to know what you want in life. You have to go for it. You know. But not to get off track. The Ahab spirit, is very prevalent. Men are very effeminate. They're allowing women to have free reign. To control the world, and women do not think logically. At all. It's just not in their genetic makeup. So the world is we're basically the world, the earth, the physical realm is basically a work car. That we done used, till the wheels is falling off, and the wheels is falling off, the mufflers smoking, the alternators, burning up, there's no antifreeze, the gas is running out, it's the end times, it's the mark of the beast, the end times, they're here, there's no really time for, playing, Ahab, Jezebel, they're in cahoots, If there's a Jezebel woman, there's an Ahab man. Or a Jezebel woman with a Ahab man with Jezebel tendencies. That's just how it goes. And they've built a demonic wall, so to speak, in society, to block, the chosen ones of God, or people who, not even just chosen ones, it's just people who love God. Who cherish God, to basically shun them in society. In the Bible it says, in the last days, good will be evil and evil will be good, and that's what you're seeing. Especially in the black community, I'm African American, I see it, our only representations, of strong black women are whores, for lack of better words. There's no, strong black women being promoted, in our culture. So when I look at a black female, I see whore, for lack of better words. So why would I be sexually attracted to that as a high value male? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't correlate. And that's what's being pushed. That's this demonic agenda. In a society, you don't see Princess Diana or the Prime Minister of Europe, as if it's a woman, most likely, a lot of, women are prime ministers, in other countries. There's not a lot of women, strong black, African American, whatever you want to call it, women being pushed to society, just a lot of, Cardi B's, Sexy Reds, Lizzos, people who just, shake their behind, for money. Wear colored wigs and, makeup and drink and smoke, they're living, breathing memes. That's how I look at, the women of my race. That I view them as memes. As I've, grown older and, got stronger in my spiritual leveling up and as I've walked this, narrow path of God. It's not a, I think I'm better, thing. It's more of just a preference. I prefer women that are more classy, that are high value, that are elegant, graceful, virtuous, less ratchet, as they say. I don't find ratchet attractive, whatsoever. I never did. I think I never will. I'm 28. I didn't find it attractive when I was 19, and I just, it's just not for me. I tried it in my past sinful life. It's just not for me. It doesn't correlate with the, with the biblical order. It doesn't correlate with, the values God teaches you to have. It doesn't correlate with, having a good, relationship, physical realm partner, to serve God and to, get through this life with. And it's just the truth, the Jezebel spirit, the Ahab spirit, they're strong in this world. You have to test people's spirits, narcissism, they're demonic spirits and people are attached to. The world will call it, narcissism, but it's demonic spirits. Ahab spirit, Jezebel spirit. Ahab's usually in men. You see a lot of men, who give their whole salary, to a low vibrational, low level, low value woman, and it doesn't make any sense. They're Ahabs, because most likely women have something over them, most likely they're, bisexual, or, they're, homosexual. And there's no way a shade, a diss, a judgment on people who are like that. God teaches you to love everybody, but I just have to be blatantly honest. I don't hate nobody for your sexual preference. I just prefer people to, follow the biblical order, but I can't make that decision for you. We are all grown, we all have our choices to make in this life. Me personally, I don't see, I can't really, I'm an introverted person, and I could barely stand to talk to a male for 2 minutes, so I don't really see the hype, to be honest. I don't understand it. That's why I know God chose me. I'm set apart. I'm introverted. I don't enjoy being in the crowd. I don't enjoy attention. I don't enjoy being around people. I'm more comfortable, by myself with my Bible, my thoughts, and my phone, and a good show, good TV show, a game, a video, whatever it may be. And that can be, it could cause problems, in a relationship with a woman who is not of God, because, it doesn't correlate with their lifestyle. I had to learn that the hard way, and it's okay, God puts you through things so you can test people's spirits, so you can adapt, so you can analyze, so you can, build up your spiritual tolerance. You can gain a gift of discernment. You can read people's spirits. Now I know, I can spot that type of woman, 50 miles away. It's become like breathing, spotting people's spirits. They have the Jezebel spirit. I can see it, before people even speak, most likely, in some instances, because I have the gift of discernment. I can see things in an analytical way and explain it. I can dumb it down in a sense, not to say, everybody is stupid, but a lot of people are under demonic spirits. So, they're narcissists. So they're, in the Bible it says people will be foolish, because of the spirits, because of the spirits they're under. And it's just the truth, but people, you tell this to people, they want to stray away from it. They don't want to hear it because they're arrogant. They think they know everything. But people don't even understand how to level up with Satan himself, but they love Satan so much according to them, but they won't even understand how to level up with him. And then that's the sad thing, and that's what I've analyzed as well. People do everything and anything, to, please, the devil, and get nowhere spiritually with him, because they don't understand, the business of souls. They only understand the business of beating around the bush, of distractions, of wasting time. So, be set apart. Cloak yourself with the armor of God. Test people's spirits. Your family will test you. Your family will be jealous of you. They will hate you, because you are the light, and they'll see it in you. They'll want to suppress it. Me personally, my family knew I was different, I'm chosen. I'm a generational, a curse breaker, the black sheep, and they'll see it in you, and, they'll try to suppress it, and you can't allow them. Well, God won't allow them anyway, but, if you're hearing this and you don't know yet, but you have a feeling that you might be chosen, God won't allow it, not for too long. And if you go through things in life, just understand that God is just testing your spirit. He wants to build you up. God has to break you down to build you up so you can't be broken again. I can personally attest to that. Anyone who's chosen, who's really chosen, who speaks truth, will understand this. You become a new person. God creates you totally new. People, narcissists can't understand it because they won't understand it. They'll be scared of you. They'll second guess it. They'll always try to try you. You just have to be yourself. You have to walk this narrow path. God says there's a broad path which the world follows. A broad path to hell, and there's a narrow path to heaven. You have to walk the narrow path. You have to be set apart. Test people's spirits. Guard your association. Don't cast your pearls with the swine. God says, sit at his right hand, and your enemies shall be at your footstool. That's kind of where I'm at, on my spiritual journey. A lot of things that my enemies, were doing to me, is kind of backfiring, because I'm just chosen. It's nothing they can do about it. And it is what it is. I'm sort of at the middle ground of my spiritual journey. You know, I've yet to hit, you know, a high level, but, you know, I'm definitely at least, you know, 65% complete, you know, with my spiritual journey. I've yet to be baptized yet. So, you know, that'll be, you know, 100%. You know, so I can personally attest, you know, to, you know, anything, you know, anyone who's truly chosen, and, you know, what I'm saying is true, you know. I have the gift of discernment, you know, I've had it for a while, I didn't understand what it was. You know, pray for that, the gift of discernment, wisdom, you know. Cloak yourself in the armor of God, set yourself apart, you know, and God will bless you, you know. God has to break you down, build you back up, and then he blesses you. It's 3 B's, you know, in this life of being chosen. You know, so don't stray away from it, you know. There'll be times where you'll be weary, you know, you'll want to give up, and God is always with you. God has angels watching you, you know, people cannot harm you. There's not a lot of people can do to you, you know, in this physical world, because you're here for a higher purpose. You're here to bring people close to God, you know, and Satan would, you know, throw a lot of things at you in the beginning of your spiritual journey to distract you. And it's just, you know, people who are under demonic spirits don't understand, you know, too well that, you know, God uses, you know, people who are under the influences of demons, you know, to set you on your journey. You know, so when you change and when you evolve and you get on your chosen path, they won't understand you anymore. You know, but it's through the grace of God. You know, it's God working in you, it's God using you. You are a physical manifestation of God's Holy Spirit. You were born with it, you know. And you have to be set apart. You have to cloak yourself in the armor of God. Fear God. You know, do not love the world. And God will be with you. And peace and blessings.